Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. I scheduled the lives at the last minute last night before I went to bed, and typically I schedule them for 9:35. For some reason, this one got scheduled for 9:30. So I've been sitting around and waiting for 7 minutes. I apologize. The 9:35 usually works a little bit better for me because sometimes I just need that extra 5 minutes for the stupid eyeliner because the eyeliner makes me happy, damn it. Plus, there's like magical history with eyeliner and protective magic, and it's a whole thing. So, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm happy to see you all. And thank you for being patient with me last week. I had a doctor's appointment. It was a follow up. It was mostly good news. So, yay. And the bad news was mostly I have to eat like a grown up now, which is never good news to anybody. So, hi, welcome. For anyone that might be new to this, I'm Diana Rachel. I am the voice behind The Spirited Witch Practical Living for Spooky People. I am the author of Urban Magic, A Guide for the City Witch, and Hex Twisting, Counterfeit Magic Spells for the Irritated Witch, among other titles. And I do these readings ideally once a week, depending on life stuff. One, as a way of connecting to community and giving service to community. Also, so people can see the style of tarot reader I am if they're looking for a premium tarot reader, because that is what I am. And also because the tarot is a way of giving advice, it is a way of getting guidance, and it kind of helps us see ways to navigate all the craziness that is happening now through the lens of the tarot for general advice to handle whatever happens. So often the cards, even when I'm trying to avoid it, end up being political. I am a 90s moderate, which makes me look like a leaning radical now, just because I have the philosophy that people should be allowed to exist unless they are advocating against the existence of others or taking that too bad, so sad, I got's mine attitude. Because the I got's mine people, they need to go the most. So I did pregame today, partly because I had a feeling I wasn't going to sleep well last night, and I was correct. There were some things going on with my partner, and we'll just we'll figure it out. We're fine. It's job stuff and anxiety and life stuff. Because if you pay too much attention to the world, it is sometimes anxiety inducing, and it takes some practice to direct your attention to the good stuff. So the card that I pulled, and I thought this was interesting, a really interesting card. Not as much fun as the last one when I pulled the devil, and oh yikes, the things that followed after. Um, but I pulled the Four of Earth, Four of Power. I'm kind of wishing I still had a Rider-Waite deck around somewhere, because I think sometimes the comparisons are really helpful. Now, the Rider-Waite deck was not the first ever tarot deck, but it is considered the standard, and it has been around long enough. It is public domain for anyone that actively subscribes. Sorry, I'm just like looking for my plug for my laptop. For anyone who subscribes to my Substack, you will know that for a while there, I was running comparisons of the cards between Tarot of the Spirit and Rider-Waite, because it's fascinating to me, because Tarot of the Spirit is very, very esoteric. It has all of the symbolism it is supposed to have. It even has the astrological glyphs for people like me who aren't really astrologers, but who understand that astrological alignment can really help you pinpoint some things, especially if you're trying to figure out who's causing you a problem, which, since I do hex breaking and curse breaking as one of my main lines, it's the who done it can be really important, or at least the how done it, which can also come up with the astrological keys. It's interesting to me how even side by side, even with the same keys, even with the same esoteric stuff applied, there are subtly different meanings in the cards. And so typically on the Rider-Waite, you'll see like a guy who's got basically pentacles stacked on his lap. It's very, very similar to the Nine of Pentacles card, where it is somebody who's got even more pentacles stacked on their lap. And looking at the Four of Earth, looking at this one, and like looking at the guidebook for the decks, I have been reading it more. It's a deep read. It is not your typical this card means this tarot read. It is way deeper than that. So I recommend you get the Tarot of the Spirit books. There's a set of books that comes with it, and it is a study unto itself. But this one comes back to that advice about shoring up what's available to you recognizing where you have autonomy, where your community has autonomy in response to how we are being taught to perceive power. And I literally just noticed this moment that this card, I'm going to hold up the camera again. It has a keyhole on it. So there's a door with a key that adds so many layers of meaning, especially since I read Lenormand too. And the key is usually one of those, oh, I need to pay attention to this cards because it usually means there is something big or significant or something that's been troubling me for a long time. And I finally asked the right question to hit on the answer to fix the issue. And so this one, I think this is a find the key to your own power. Like it's not a huge jump, but it is a jump. And I think at least on the US side, because remember, everything that I do is from a US bias. I live in the US, I live in the Midwestern United States. Every state has its own unique culture and set of cultures within it. So the most plain spoken American has way more nuance and assumed meanings than you could possibly guess. But I imagine that's the same everywhere in every region. So some of our nuances right now is that our midterm election season is starting. And there is something about the way campaigns can be run that makes people feel especially helpless. It makes people feel like they don't have a choice. People are really fond of going, oh, they're all the same. And there is a grain of truth in that. But there's also the part that is ignored. Citizen power here gets ignored. People do not stop to think what their actual part in politics or the situation is. This is partly manipulation. We've been manipulated out of recognizing our own power, but it is also, and sometimes there are, especially with minority communities, power is actively blocked and taken from them. And it is a very active choice. This is what gerrymandering does most of the time. So right now, as these are coming up, primaries are coming up. When primaries are basically an election before the election to pick our candidates. So we elect the people we're going to choose for the party system that we have. And, it is a system, it is structured to be unbreakable because people make their careers on this and they are self-protective and are frequently prioritizing their careers over what their job is supposed to do. So, and a lot of people have been feeling very disempowered by this, very disappointed by this. And some people are really, it's like they've completely forgot there is such a thing as win-win solutions. So some people have gotten so gamified by internet argument, by video gaming, by this entire over worship of competitiveness that they have forgotten that there are situations where everybody can do well with a little bit of effort, and you don't even necessarily have to give anything up aside from toxic things that you should be giving up, like being an asshole. So when I'm looking at the Four of Earth and the power, and since my question is, what does the community need to know for this week? It is the reminder that you still have the power. So how do you act on this? There's no point in a tarot reading if you don't come out with an action plan, in my opinion. There have been a few cases where I'm like, yeah, inaction is the choice, but this is not one of them. This is one where it is take the time to learn about your rights. Most people do not actually know what rights they have, and I've seen police take advantage of this many times. I've seen HOA presidents take advantage of this many times, to the tune of going to the neighbors that are not part of the HOA and trying to boss them around. So actually take some time, update what you know. So if you're looking for citizenship rights, patient rights, whatever, read the OSHA charts. A lot of people are in bad workplaces, have no idea how illegal that stuff is and how fast it can be to fix anonymously. So take your time, find out what's still working for you, find out what's working against you. And also always look at the local scale first, because you can build the most protections into your local government, into your local space, and you can have much more influence over that than you can the stuff that's further out from you. And right now I'm no isolationist, but it is a time where I wouldn't call it isolationism, but going more local, focusing more local, looking for how you can create cooperative and healthy power structures locally are going to serve you through all of the nonsense going on. So one of the ways that's serving me right now is I have not had a single encounter with cyclosporiasis because I have networked with people, with my neighbors, so I can buy food from them, grow food myself because I am fortunate in that way. And I haven't had to worry about exposure except one time, and it was to a locally owned restaurant that is also only using local suppliers, so it was fine. So these are small. Don't dismiss the small stuff. Don't dismiss the trivial stuff you do every day. Don't dismiss the small changes. Give yourself grace if you can't. But looking for ways, and that does mean even changing the way you do an internet search or going to a library or getting online and using digital access to a library to research and just do what you can to update yourself. Again, like for those that read my Saturn return post, a lot of this stuff is more about the right questions than the right answers. So use your power to start asking the right questions and pay attention to who actually answers your questions, especially if you are deciding to who to vote for, as opposed to someone who just gives you talking points and propaganda. And maybe read up on talking points and propaganda, and then you can really notice how that gets used in social media by friends you know who don't even realize that they have had their neurons repatterned by talking points and propaganda. So again, first taking power with yourself and taking power over your own thoughts by learning new information. It's always one of the best ways to go. So that's what I've got for you this morning. I'm about an eighth way into my coffee. So good morning and stay magical, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It means the world that you guys are willing to hang out and stick with me. Um, and as always, I'm going to check to see if there's anything in the chat. There is not. If folks need to book me for anything, this is my booking link. And I do have a few extra goodies already scheduled to come out this week on Substack. So if you are a subscriber, enjoy. All right. Thank you so much and stay magical, everybody.